Hey, and welcome to the Destiny Global Success Tip. My name is Carmen. I am one of the trainers here with Destiny Global. And if this is our first introduction, hi! Maybe you are not watching it on the Facebook page. Maybe somebody that watched it, shared it, they were impacted by it, and you clicked on it and said, what is this? So my name is Carmen, and so glad to spend this next little bit of time with you. But every couple weeks over at Destiny Global, we have a success tip. And that comes from either myself, Mr. Jackie O'Quinn, Mr. Ken Brown. One of the three of us is on there live every other Wednesday, giving you little tidbits, little nuggets, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes that are, and these are designed to be bite-sized pieces where you can watch them, and when you're done, you can immediately leave the success tip, apply what we talked about, and have success in an area of your life to make success just a little bit easier. And so tonight, I'm so excited to talk to you about this because this is something that I applied when it came to growing my business from a startup all the way to more than $9 million. This is something I have applied in literally every area of my life. And so we have like 38 days left in the year. That is it. We are like Thanksgiving's like right here, and then we're gonna finish out November, head into December. 38 days left in 2022. And then we're going to be ushering in a brand new year. 2023 is going to be here. And so often right now, like we're coming into the holiday season. And so at this point, society is made up of two different populations. And at a lot of our events, First Steps to Success, which we're going to be talking about at the end of this call, we have our next First Steps to Success coming up in January. But you'll hear us talk about numbers like 98 and 2%. And 98% of the population, the facts are they are dead or dead broke by the age of 65. Only 2% of the population is doing well financially in their golden years. And so what's going to happen over the next 38 days is 98% of the population is going to go into holiday hibernation. They're going to be lackadaisical on their business. They are going to be distracted by the holidays. They are going to they're going to mentally, emotionally check out. Like they're going to check out, they're going to, and basically go halfway, half butt, 50%. And then when the new year comes around, most people are going to pull their head out of their holiday haze and they're going to go, whoa, hey, it's New Year. Let's go. I got some resolutions. I got some goals. Like, somewhere around, takes them about 2 weeks to shake off the holiday haze. But somewhere around January 10th through the 20th, people are going to wake up, they're going to shake up, and then they're going to start going again. And so what I want to share with you tonight is how to build momentum through the holidays. So that way, when everybody else is waking up and shaking up in January, you've already built a wave of momentum. And when January comes and everybody else is waking up, you are already running. When everybody else is shaking off the holiday slumber, the holiday haze, you're like, woo! You're warmed up and you are ready to rock and roll. You are ready to go because I'm telling you, most of your competitors in whatever it is that you do are going to go into the holiday haze. That is just how it is. And so if you want to set yourself apart, if you want to set up 2023 to be your best year in business yet, then you're going to want to keep watching. And so anyway, 38 days. We have 38 days left. And so I'm going to give you a couple different things that you can, so I want you to imagine, I want to give you this analogy first. I want you to imagine, because this is what's about to happen in these next 38 days. You are you're in an apple orchard and you're picking apples. And around the apple tree, there's like 10 of you picking apples off of the apple tree. Okay, there's like 10 of you. And you can imagine if there's 10 people picking apples off the same tree, you're only going to get so many apples because there's so many apples. And the more people that are picking, the more the fruit has to be divided among all the people picking. And some people might pick faster, some people might pick slower. You might be a slow picker, you might be a fast picker, but there's still 10 people picking. You hear me? And so I want you to imagine but the tree next to it, or the tree in the other orchard, there's one apple tree, same amount of apples, but instead of 10 people picking, there's 2 people picking, or 1 person picking. You've got the whole tree to yourself. Where are you going to get more apples? The tree with 10 people picking, or the tree with 1 or 2 people picking? That's a season we're about to go into. Same amount of customers, same amount of clients, same amount of buyers, but less people picking, less people fighting, less people vying for your customers' attention. Okay? All right, perfect. Are you catching me? Are you with me? Are you getting? This is one of my favorite seasons. For those of you that are going to get off this call tonight and you're going to go to work after we're done, man, I am telling you, you're going to build a wave of momentum that is going to carry you into the first of the year, and is going to create a wave that's going to set up your Q1, your quarter one, your first quarter, January, February, and March, to be freaking stellar, killer. All right. So number 1 is through the holidays, coming into the holidays, you want to be intentional. Okay, you want to be intentional. And here's what I mean by that. You want to know right now how many days you're going to be working. Like how many work days, if we have 38 days left in the year, how many of those are work days for you? Because hear me, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. And so it's really important, if you are in business for yourself, if you're trying to grow a side hustle, if you're trying to grow a side business, if you're trying to have a side income, it's really important to identify, out of the 38 days left, what days are you working? Because if we were to look at the calendar here, like, Thanksgiving, that's out. The day after Thanksgiving, for most people, that's out. Which, by the way, if you're somebody, people are looking to spend money the day after Thanksgiving. So I actually think it's an amazing day to work. It's an amazing day for your company to have a Black Friday special going out on Monday the 28th. It's an amazing time for your company to have a Cyber Monday deal going out. But if we just kicked off with Monday, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like we have, if you're, and obviously you're going to take time off around Christmas. My point is, if we just count the working days, Monday through Friday, most of you have 20 some working days left inside of the year. So the first thing is, you want to be intentional. You want to figure out, what days am I working through the holidays? Like how many days am I working? And you want to get your calendar out and you want to map out, how many days am I working? You want to map out, how many hours am I working during those days? Okay, so how many days am I working? How many hours am I working during those days? So if you work part-time, if you have a full-time job and a part-time side hustle, how many hours are you working? Are you investing 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours? Obviously, it's going to depend on what you've got going on and all of that. But the important part here isn't how much you're working. It's for you to be very specific on what you're doing, because we are coming into the most distracted time of the year. And if you don't make an intention on building your business, on growing your business, on sowing the right seed, you're going to get caught up in the holiday haze just like everybody else does. And so I learned this so long ago, like more than a decade ago. When I was in my 20s, I learned about the holiday haze. And every single year we do this. Like we literally we do exactly what I'm telling you to do. Like if I were to pull up my calendar right now, you would see how many days I'm working, the hours I'm working during the holidays. Like I know exactly. Same thing with my kids' school schedule. They know how many school days they have left. They know what days they're going to school and how many hours they're going to be spending in school, because nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. All right. So be intentional. What days are you working? How many hours are you working? Here's the third thing when it comes to being intentional with your schedule. And listen, Linda, most people, 98% of the population, they don't plan to fail. They don't plan to go into the holiday haze. They don't plan to get caught up and swept up and basically go into the holiday hibernation for the next 38 days. They don't plan on it, but it naturally, when you don't plan, you're just going to go with whatever's handed to you. You're going to go with the flow. And holiday hibernation is what happens to most people. Okay. We get stuffed on turkey on Thanksgiving, and then we just kind of hibernate all the way until, whatever in January. So the next thing you want to look at is in the hours you're working, and for those of you that just came out of creating a dynasty, gosh, we just spent like a whole block of time where we taught you how to manage your time. You went through time secrets. And so for those of you, this is going to like piggyback right off of that. And so the next thing you want to look at is during those chunks of time, what are you doing? Because again, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. And this formula I'm giving you right now, time is your hottest commodity. It is your most valuable commodity. And most people are not telling it where to go. They're not directing it. They are just wasting it. And they are waking up every day, seeing where the day takes them. And that is it. So if you have 2 hours a day that you're working, or you have 8 hours a day that you're working, what does that look like? What tasks are you doing during those 2 hours? What tasks are you doing during those 8 hours? Are you doing, and you want to make sure the tasks you're doing actually get more clients. They actually build your business, because it's really easy to spend 8 hours. Have you ever noticed it's really easy to spend 8 hours doing nothing? It's really easy to spend 2 hours doing nothing. It's really easy to work and focus on all the tasks, the busy work, the things that don't advance our business, the things that don't increase our income. It's really easy to focus on all the things that don't help us get to our goals. And that's where a lot of people spend their time. And so what I'm telling you to do during the holiday season is to get really intentional, to get really crystal clear, to get really focused during that work time, that you're actually doing the work that's going to move your business forward, that you're actually bringing in new clients, that you're actually making contact, that you're doing follow-up calls, you're asking for referrals, you're doing follow-ups with the people that told you they needed time to think about it. You're doing the work that produces the income. You're doing the work that produces a result inside of your business. And listen, for those of you that are employees, this is how you make yourself stand out. This is how you become an employeepreneur. This is how you get a raise. This is how you get a promotion. Imagine if you treated your job like your business. Imagine if you went in and you took ownership over this and you actually brought this into the place that you work. Imagine the things that would be said about you. Listen, every boss is looking to give a raise. Every boss is looking for people to promote. All bosses want to raise people up and see people do better. But most of the time, raises are dependent on the company making more money. And when you can come in and help that company make more money, your boss can't help themselves but want to reward you for your work. Not for showing up. There's no award just for showing up. But when you increase the revenue at what you do, all of a sudden, you made yourself extremely valuable at the place that you work. Okay? All right, so the first one, be intentional. You want to make sure you're being intentional with all those things we just talked about. Be intentional with your time. The second thing you want to do when it comes to making the most out of these last 38 days is you want to, I'm like, what's the word that's on the tip of my tongue? Vision. You want to come up with your vision. You want to make sure you're working on your vision for 2023. Like, what is the vision for the company? And this is when you start talking about it. What is your vision for how your team's going to finish the last half of the year? What is your vision? Is your team going to finish strong? Is your team going to create momentum? And this is where you actually go in and you have a meeting with your team and you say, hey, if you run a charity, we want to raise this amount of money between now and the end of the year. We want to sponsor this many families. We want to get this many new clients, because your goal, the most important thing about your goal is rallying the team around your goal to go after it with you. So what is your goal to end the year? And then what is your goal for 2023? And making sure you communicate that with your team. You communicate that with your team. And the third and final strategy that I'm going to give you, I'm telling you, all three of these are this whole little success tip that we're doing tonight. You could build a 7-figure business just on these things we're going over right here, okay? The next thing I want to talk to you about creating, maximizing the last 38 days and creating momentum coming into the new year is getting yourself and your entire team registered for First Steps to Success. Hear me on this. This was one of the major ways that we went from $720,000 to over $9 million in sales. Is we built a vision around helping more people, being number one, growing the business and all of those things. But one of the ways that in order to go from 720,000 to 9 million inside of just 2 years, one of the things that we had to do is we had to make sure our company grew their skill set. And one of the ways as the owner that I did that is I didn't focus on training everybody. I didn't focus on me being the expert and training all of my staff. What I did was I outsourced the training. And I got everybody hyped up, pumped up to we're going to go to this event called First Steps to Success, and we are going to get trained together. We're going to get equipped together. And so that starts now. You don't wait until January and then go, hey, by the way, there's this event coming up in a couple weeks and we should go. No, you start now, because right now you are building the wave. You are creating the momentum. You are rallying the troops to get on their surfboards, and you're pedaling out there. You're going to ride the wave in from the momentum that you have created. Sorry, I'm moving all over the place. This stuff gets me so fired up because the exact thing I did, one of the biggest things I did to take that business from $720,000 over $9 million was I got my staff, I got my people, I got my sales associates, I got the people I worked with, my managers, our phone pros. They were professionally trained. It's the same way my husband and his partner grew a sales organization to more than $100 million in profits. Same exact thing that they did. And so start talking about the event. Again, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So are you going to First Steps to Success in January? Listen, this doesn't mean try to sell you on First Steps to Success. The truth is, I don't directly get paid off of you going to First Steps to Success. This is me wanting you to succeed. And I'm telling you exactly what I did to do that. And when you are trying to get people to succeed that aren't trained, it is much harder to get them to help the company grow when they don't have the skill to do it, when the entire company is not aligned. But when you get the company aligned and you get everybody on the same page, man, magic happens. This is exactly what Stuart Lynn from Texas has done. Stuart Lynn, when he first came to First Steps to Success, he was an engineer, a father with a lot of kids, him and his wife, Lisa. And he every single month, he was actually having to borrow money from his parents to make ends meet. After attending the event, he got some skills and he went out and actually started his own company. He was an engineer. He started his own engineering firm. Today, he has the largest windstorm engineer in all of Texas. He's a land developer. The man has multiple companies that every company does millions of dollars. And just at the last event, there he was in the audience. His actual truck got stolen his truck got stolen during the event. His truck. And he said, well, the insurance company will take care of it. I'm in an event. I need to get all that I can. And he stayed in the seat. That is some commitment. That's commitment to his future. That's commitment to his self. That was leading by example. But we have other Stuart Lynn's watching right now. And so what I'm telling you is there's been so many people that have come through the events. They went from nothing to a 6-figure and 7-figure business by using the events. If you are in a coaching business, if you're a coach, oh my goodness, it's an amazing to get your... I could talk to you about this for hours, but for time's sake, I'm not going to. But my point is that it starts now. If you want to have 5 of your people with you at First Steps to Success in January, it's getting your people registered now. It's starting to talk about it now. And so that way when January comes, you're not waking up from a holiday hibernation. You're not coming out of the holiday haze. You literally are hitting the ground running. You are ready to go. You're already 20 steps ahead of your competition. You're actually prepared for the success that you say you want to have. Most people are a lot of talk, but they're not a lot of walk. Most people talk a really big game when it comes to the success they want to have. But for most people, their actions don't follow. Their walk doesn't follow their talk. And these 3 things that we just went over, being intentional with your time, making sure that you have a vision and you cast the vision for your team, and that you and a team of people are registered for First Steps to Success, January 25th, 26th, and 27th in San Antonio, Texas. This is going to set you apart, friend. This is going to put you in a position to make sure that 2023 is your best year yet. And so let me know in the comments, let me know down below if you're already registered for First Steps to Success, if you already have your ticket, if you don't have your ticket but you're getting your ticket, what is your goal? How many people are you bringing with you? And then I want to know, what are you having for Thanksgiving dinner? I'm a foodie. I want to know, what is your favorite Thanksgiving item? What is like the one Thanksgiving thing that you've got to have on the Thanksgiving table? Let me know in the comments. We will be back live in 2 more weeks with another success tip. So happy Thanksgiving. Happy Gobble Gobble Day. Thank you for spending your evening with me. And I look forward to seeing many of you live in person in San Antonio, Texas at First Steps to Success at the end of January.